Hey, in this episode, we're going to be talking about our favorite deck archetypes. This is creatures, general themes, just like what we like to throw into our commander's decks to make them personal and fun. So, I hope you enjoy. So, Sam, you're sitting at the table, you're playing with your buds. What do you like to have in your commander deck?
I think my number one, um, and obviously this got changed with the new Showdown stuff, Thunder Junction, is I love committing crimes of the highest order.
Oh, we all.
Uh, a lot of times I like to think I just want to beat down an opponent as fast as possible and just rob them of something, but something about me just loves taking people's cards out of their hands. Just love it. I think I had one deck built. Well, I'd say probably built on my phone. But obviously, any rat deck that causes like what Nathan talked previously about an episode with rats, and it's just the combo that just all in itself is just destructive. And people will hate you for it, but you know it happens on those big jobs.
Yeah, just anytime like I feel like in Commander people forget how powerful hand control can be. I feel like because hand control is targeted and it's like a multiplayer format, people are like, "Oh, that's mean and I'm just gonna get targeted by that person if I do it." But like negating a threat before it has a chance to become a threat is really powerful, and I feel like it's kind of a slept on aspect of the game.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it
you're going to
feels
be called evil regardless. So as long as you're making the right decision and picking the right player to rob from, so
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
feels a little personal if you're targeting one person in a four-player game versus like a 60 card format where it's just 1v1. I mean, where you have like a default choice.
well, obviously, and I think anybody can agree with this. Anytime someone opens up with a sliver deck, automatically targeting them, they don't get to play anything.
Keith, uh, what do you like to typically run in your commander deck? Either like creature or style. Like what makes a Keith commander deck a Keith commander deck?
I think I'm partial to combos. I find myself building combos in pretty much every deck. It
Freaking
could
love
be some,
combos.
yeah, could be some convoluted like 5, 6 card combo that's horrible but still fun and goofy to pull off, or the uh the horrible 2 card game-winning combo. Yeah, I have a hard time not putting a combo in my deck. For
What are
example,
some of
like
your favorite combos?
yeah, well, in my pirate deck, it's Malcolm and Ketis right now. It's pretty fast. I would almost say like a turbo sort of combo deck, but you get a freed from the real on a trying to remember my goblin that makes that pings people. Anyways, there's a goblin that pings people, and when you ping players, you get 1 treasure. So you sack a treasure after that, and you can untap with freed from the real, and then you just bleed out the whole table, and that's pretty much all it takes. I guess that one's 3 card combo because you need the commander also. But yeah, that's one of the ones hiding in that deck. I can't remember any more like ridiculous 4 or 5 combos, but yeah. So synergy, and then like I guess the extreme end of synergy is just
What about
easy
your
combos.
what about your combo that you used when we played the other day?
Oh yeah. So in my red deck, It's Torbrand.
Hmm.
I have a god from Kaldheim in there called Toralf, and I think online I've seen him called Machine Gun Toralf. So,
Because he dated that girl from Transformers.
oh Lord. And so Toralf, God of Fury, legendary creature god, it's mythic, trample. So whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, Toralf deals damage equal to the excess to any target other than that permanent. So literally just a two-card combo with Toralf and Blasphemous Act. And if you're unaware of Blasphemous Act, it deals 13 damage to each creature, and the cost can be reduced all the way down to one if like everyone has two or three creatures out on the field.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
reduced it down to one when you did it the other day, and it was like
yep, one mana, and then you can,
cleared the table.
yeah, you can wipe out a couple people if you want. If you have damage doublers, you just win on the spot essentially.
Yeah, I haven't played this deck. I'm excited to square up with it. It sounds
Yeah,
pretty potent.
that's the first time I actually pulled it out. I had to gamble to get one of those pieces, and it paid off. So I was pretty happy about
Hey, so kids at home, if you're hearing this, gambling always works.
that. No whammies.
Oh man. So, uh, so Nathan, what's what makes a Nathan deck a Nathan deck? What do you like to bring to the party?
Uh, my favorite deck that I have is my Nekusar deck, and it is my Mario Party from Hell deck. So it's a fun party, but there's a lot of wheeling in it because Nekusar wants people to take damage for getting rid of cards. So there's a windfall. There's quite a few cards that'll make everybody grab a card, get rid of their hand, go back up, go back down. Fairy's Puzzle Box is another fun one. Everybody kind of has to grab a new hand every turn, and then play what you get because it next turn it's a new hand. So a lot of wheeling, um, and then draw punish kind of playing together with that. Um, and then I've also got ways to give people poison counters off of Nekusar too. Um, as they're taking the damage from drawing cards, they're also getting poisoned. So um, it's a lot of fun. So there's that one. I have a couple more, but Josh, what makes a Josh deck?
Oh, if you want a Josh deck, all you need is uh, a few ways to interact with your opponents all the time. Like just it's not necessarily I don't ever
For
want to
better or worse.
for better or worse. It's not like it's not like Staxy per se. I just like to be able to uh always have a be able to interject at some point with something or other. So uh political pieces, group slug is probably my favorite gender. So uh my Kadur the Doom Scourge, I can't even say it right because I always say Kadur the Doom Scourge. But Kadur the Doom Scourge is for two black and a red. When he enters the battlefield, until your next turn, creatures your opponents control attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you if able. So I am finding ways to get him, recur him from the graveyard. I'll even ninjutsu him back to my hand and play him again. Just Conjurer's Closet, you name it. You're just seeing this guy go up and down, and then I'm like buffing my opponent's pieces. I turned Quain, who was usually a group hug commander, into a group slug commander. I don't run the stacks pieces in Quain. Instead, Quain is for a white and a blue. You tap him, and you and your opponents draw a card and gain a life. Well, it's a you may ability, so your opponents can choose to draw a card and gain a life, but typically they will. And so it on its face, it looks like a group hug, but then all the cards in the deck are combat tricks and or bounce spells. So if a creature is coming at an opponent, it's going to get stronger. If it's coming at me, it's going back to your hand. So it's Quane's bag of tricks. So uh, group slugs, way to go.
Yeah. But Josh seems like a bit of a puppeteer pulling strings. Do you
Master.
have an Arabella deck? Is that
I do, yes, I do have
okay?
it.
That's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
do
what I
have it.
thought.
Yeah, I have an Arabella deck. That one's less group slug and more
Yeah.
just slug. Like not toxical slug, but slug, you know. So yeah, if I'm either I just want violence all the time. So
Who
if
doesn't?
yeah, so I try to encourage my opponents to do the right thing by attacking. I don't even care if you're attacking me. I just want to see violence. And the uh, but yeah, so it I mean, but I need whenever you build a group slug deck, you really need to make sure that you have ways to win yourself. Otherwise, it gets really annoying. I think
Yeah.
whenever whenever you run one of these the first time, any sort of like social ones, you have to be only run it with like good friends because if you have to make sure the friendship can handle you not knowing how to win with the deck. It was like I thought you so I got everyone to kill everyone except for the strongest person who is now squaring up with me. I so you don't want to build a deck that just only gets second. You need to make sure you have ways to actually close it out.
Uh, yeah, Ben Bateman had a short that was about somebody making an infinite combo deck, but then forgetting how the infinite combo worked. And they're like, it goes infinite, and everybody's like, okay, explain how it goes infinite. And it's something that would happen in our group where it's like, I I do it. I'll make a combo and be like, yeah, it's a combo, and then you're like, "Oh, shit, how does that combo work? And then you forget about it, and it's like, well, it looks like it's not infinite because you can't explain it. So, um, it was kind of funny, but yeah, just it, talking about having a good group of people and playing it out.
Yes.
Definitely got to make sure you do that. Uh, yeah. So, Keith, you like pirates. What makes you like pirates so much?
Um, it was mostly the stealing and playing other people's decks. At least that was like an earlier iteration of my deck. I've sort of pivoted to be more combo like,
Treasures.
yeah, treasure combo synergies or treasure synergies leading into combos. It just, yeah, it makes it a little more reliable. And, people don't like their cards stolen all the time. And, you know,
I
Cheeto
think it
fingers.
yeah.
Keith likes to eat a lot of Cheetos while we're playing these games, so
Uh,
getting the Cheeto
Cheetos.
dust all over everybody's cards is a bit much. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
gotta
We
have my
love
G
Cheetos.
Fuel and my Cheetos.
What would be another like creature type that you're a big fan of, Keith?
Other than pirates, I
but
like
just
artifact synergies. I mean, those are cool. I've only recently dabbled with that with Mendicant, which is really cool.
That deck is a lot of fun. I want to play it in person. I'm
Yeah,
excited
I
for
need
you to get
to
that one made.
buy that, assemble it. Yeah, lots of recursion in there and cheap artifacts, affinity, just cranking stuff out really fast. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I need
Josh?
to, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
No, that's fine. I'm done.
Josh, what are your favorite creature types?
uh so weirdly enough, like I don't necessarily seek out this creature type, but I find that I have more of this creature type as commander than any other creature type, and that's vampire somehow.
Hmm.
Well, in one of the first commander deck I made that wasn't a precon was the original Olivia from Innistrad. So just stealing people's creatures, turning them into vampires, little fun stuff like that. Then I proceed to uh, make the oh my God, give me a second. The Kraken vampire, uh,
Cracula.
Count Cracula. Yeah, Runo Stormkirk. Made a Runo Stormkirk deck, and lo and behold, he is also a vampire. I just wanted to make a uh, just Terrors of the Sea deck, just very Cthulhu-esque, and but lo and behold, he's a vampire. I didn't ask for him to be a vampire; he just is. Then I really like the mechanic of Linda and Ascor. Where else can you find a vampire night sphinx? And
Yeah.
this deck's fun. It's essentially uh, you get to uh, pay S burn X and draw X cards whenever they attack, and then at the beginning of each end step, you can pay 4 life. If you do, you make a 1/1 black Vampire Knight with life link equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. So then you just have all these tokens you can use for like aristocrats or just like straight up swing with them and stuff like that. But lo and behold, now I'm making more vampires. So I don't know how, but I can't help but stop stumbling into vampires. It's like I don't even know.
Yeah, I
Who
was
are who are your favorite supporting vampires?
So,
Like, do you have a couple of vampires that like if you're making a vampire deck, they're in every vampire deck?
well, the you got your boy Vampire Nighthawk out there who has like the life link, the death touch. He's been there for us since your day one. Me getting back into it hasn't stopped being good. Love that guy. Then I believe it's the I want to make sure a lot of the staple vampires. I need to make sure they're not just sorcerers. Uh, I mean, uh, well, anyway, I don't know. You get a lot of the. I don't really run a lot of the supporting vampires to say. I've just more accidentally trip and fall into making a commander deck where vampires stapled in the creature type. So it's just
I think
where
my
I
two
am.
favorites are Vampire Nightcock and Bloodfartist. Keith,
Oh,
what were
Blood
you?
Fartist. Oh my God.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, dude.
Just edit out the part where I stumbled for a half hour and pretend like I said that.
Yeah.
I was just looking for like Rakdos commanders, and like vampires are just so dominant in like Rakdos colors. Like half of the commanders are vampires and like deal with blood tokens or something. So I would take any suggestions that anyone wants to like suggest a Rakdos that
I, I
commander that's unique or something.
I mean, I think there's the other Olivia that deals like with madness, and there's a lot of cards from uh, Aether Drift that reward you for discarding. So
Mhm.
maybe madness discarding synergy would be kind of a fun direction to take a Rakdos deck for you.
Um, Green Goblin, Nemesis, is Rakdos. But there's a Rakdos Pirates deck you could make.
Oh, true. Yeah, a lot more
Breaches in
sacrificing in there.
Francisco.
Yeah, and then I
Breaches in
could
Francisco.
do the ooh, what's that treasure instant win card? Like 10 treasures, 20 treasures, and you win the game.
Ooh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Anyways, you get treasures each time like a creature dies. Anywho.
Yeah. So if so like we mentioned like general elements, but I think whenever you like look at the archetypes of like Commander, I know Keith mentioned the combo aspect of it. Uh, I mentioned the just kind the social aspect of it. Uh, what do you feel like is kind of key to like develop like finding like what you find fun? Like, do you feel like it's like a personality thing? Is it like the spark inside you? Like, what do you feel like is how do you find that? How did what happened to make you be like, yeah, this is the kind of player that I am?
I think pulling off a big flashy play is mostly what I'm after. You know, some big boom to the table, a big crackling of power or something to that effect. Yeah.
I think when I think of Keith, I think of like just things that make everybody at the table go, "Oh my gosh!" Like that just happened. Like even if it killed you, you're like, "Holy crap!" Like I
Yeah, I'll
when I
die too. I don't care.
yeah, like it's. I mean, that's always fun. And then when I think of playing with you, Josh, I always think of like you are a really good politicker when it comes to like
He's just a nice guy. Why wouldn't
yeah,
you take his deals?
I'm just here. I'm just a dude. I'm just a guy being a dude. Like that's what I think about when I think about your decks. So, um I think what I like is seeing just kind of stuff that's a little bit different and just trying to come up with cards that maybe haven't been used very recently or um like just digging back into Magic's past because I mean I started in 20
11.
2011. Yeah, so I mean, I missed out on a lot of stuff. So I'm still finding like to this day I'm still finding brand new things. So just it mostly came from just playing with the group and seeing what everybody does and then kind of just finding a good commander and I've got quite a few decks that I've built commander wise that aren't together anymore because I thought it was a good idea and so I built it and played with it a little bit, and then I'm like, you know what, this isn't fun. Um, and it comes from that. Do I have a way of winning in there? Did I make it with that, or did I just kind of forget to do that? And sometimes I forget to do that, and that makes games go on for forever, or you know, it's just not a good deck to play. So, um, yeah, just kind of going through the history. And I'm a big fan of the art. So if I find like really cool art cards, I like to have them in my deck and play with them too. So kind of silly that way, I guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
Uh, I just want to throw on something real quick. I would
yeah.
describe Nathan's decks as like artisanal. That like they're like just like the like ethically this card that you hadn't seen in a while was like just ethically sourced from Spain and just is an accoutrement to the this artifact cheese and then it'll do XYZ and so you do find it's like it's you put a lot of thought into like the art and like curating a deck,
Yeah, it's
and then like
definitely curated.
yeah,
That's a
just
good word for it.
yeah. So just if just then you have to be like, oh man, I guess I have to compromise. Otherwise, I only have tier one theme decks, and you
Yeah.
just need to be like, I'll take out this. Take out a little bit of jank to have like a known combo in there, but then you in the jank or like not jank, but the artisanal spaghetti. There's a spicy meatball in there that can actually finish off the opponent.
Yeah. Oh man.
But
So what this is a personal question too, but what makes in your opinion, what makes a pod a fun pod to play with? Be back right after this.
Have you found yourself tapped out recently? Are your mana rocks just not rocking like they used to? Are you a fan of treasure? Maybe you should try a gold vein pick
I could use that gold vein picks in one of them there gemstone caverns.
for just 2 colorless and 1 colorless to equip. You can give your favorite Skirk prospector +1/+1, and whenever he deals damage, you create a treasure.
You can turn your weenies into treasure finding meanies.
if I found a gold vein, that'd be my pick.
I'm looking for a treasure trail, and I ain't talking about your tummies.
You know what they say about gold veins?
There's gold in them there hill giants.
So go ahead, add a gold vein pick to your deck, and get to pinging.
I recommend you go get yourself a gold vein picks today.
And not one that you're like, like when somebody invites you to come play again, you're like, yeah, I'll be there. When you're secretly like, I don't know, it
I
might be a minute.
I think honesty uh in like rule zero, like you kind of say what you're bringing to the table. If you want to have like you want everyone to have a shot at it, so you be honest about like what you're bringing. If because like the tier system, I think that is nice to. Because it's better than everyone saying that their deck is a 7 or C EDH. I think the I do genuinely like the tier system, but can someone be an absolute bad actor with it and be like, yeah, this is tier 2, but then it's has a bunch of like known uh that's like built like in a way that can like
Built like a
is
brick
a
shit house.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think
Gavin
just
meant. Oh, go on.
yeah, just being honest, honesty, being and communicating, also being open to feedback, being like, hey, your uh your stacks deck, it was cool, it worked and stuff like that, but I didn't really get to try out what my deck does, and so can we play something where like we're playing more actively,
Hmm.
or if we want to just have a, or like if everyone's in the mood for stacks, then you can just have a stacks off and just free up the evening and just have some like beers and pretzels and no one does anything as you pass back and forth.
Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
Yeah, but yeah,
Keith, what
just
about
like
you?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Mine was kind of similar. I think like balance, whether that's like the power levels or people's moods. If they're in the mood for a sweaty, like high power game, everyone needs to be at the approximate like same level, or, you know, a lower powered game. Just everything needs to be balanced out because imbalances sort of, you know, breed contempt between players and, people get salty and so on. But leveling things out, just make sure everyone's in like the same headspace, just there for a good time. Hmm.
Yeah, what do you think, Nathan? What do you think makes a pod fun?
Um, I think if everybody's there to have fun and not take it too seriously, that's when it's the most fun. I think if you know, if you show up and you just want to absolutely smash people, or you show up and get upset because you lose a game piece for a second, you know, in the game, it we're all there to have fun and uh, just keep the good times rolling. So,
Yeah.
and then like Keith was saying, if we want to get sweaty, then we're all playing sweaty decks, or you know, if we all want to kind of take our time and you know, like you were saying, we all play stacks, or we all just kind of sit and talk like that. That's the main thing. If everybody's having fun and you can sit there and talk and chat and laugh and have a good time outside of the game while you're still playing the game, that's where the sweet spot is. Like if you're not constantly having to uh, feel like, okay, I have 2 seconds to play my turn because this person really wants to just like, you know, they're constantly flicking their cards together, constantly shuffling their cards in their like shuffling their hand and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm more of a relaxed, like go with the flow kind of player, and I will stare off into the distance sometimes while playing games too. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that a couple of times. That's why I kind of have started to make decks where I have to really pay attention with counters and things like that a lot. Um, but yeah, just everybody's there to have fun. Like you were saying, everybody's honest with what their deck does and what they're bringing to the table. That way we can all be at the, you know, same kind of level playing field. Um, I think that's nice.
Yeah, I think how you treat new players too is something like having like patience, letting them take things back.
Yeah.
If they're like misreading cards and stuff like that, or don't understand how a rule work, just being patient with like new players. And also, in being honest, if you don't like playing with new players, or like it doesn't make you a bad person, you can just be like, hey, I'd rather not I'd rather sit this one out. I get a little antsy whenever someone takes too long on their turns. That's a me thing. I don't know, but yeah, I like
Smash
yeah,
Yeah.
I
or
like.
destroy.
But yeah, if you're being a jerk to new players, then I don't know. It's like the litmus test for human being. It's like the
True.
if you're nice to wait staff or returning the grocery cart, being nice to new players is also has to be up there.
Based and true.
Yeah, I mean, with every new set, there's a new thing that happens with cards that people don't know how it works and everything. So technically, at every new set release, you're a brand new player, at least for a couple of cards. So
Yeah.
everybody needs to kind of chill out, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you have to figure out what kicker they renamed this time around.
exactly. Oh man.
It's, it's just it's like I want to have like a magic game show. Like the Japanese game show where they go into like a room and they have to find the object that's chocolate and take a bite out of it.
Yes.
I want the people to be given a list of mechanics and have to find the one that's just pretty much kicker and then take a bite out of it.
Or just it would be fun to have like do that thing where you name off a whole bunch of different mechanics and then they have to say the one that actually isn't in Magic.
It's like which is a mechanic and then which is an erectile dysfunction pill or
Yeah,
something like
there
that.
you
Yeah.
go.
Which is a mechanic and which is a mechanic that worked on my car on Thursday.
Phil from AutoZone actually lets you essentially like impulse scry and
Loki goat.
I don't even know what impulse scrying would look like. You can only look at these cards until the end of your next turn.
No, you just do it when you feel like it. Just when
Yeah.
the impulse comes over you, you'll just scry it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, general, uh, I think building decks in general, looking at your commander and what your commander's doing, uh, and the limitations of your commander can be a good way to show people things they haven't seen before. A example I want to give is I have Nikia of the Old Ways, which is a centaur for three, red, green, and I can no longer play non-creature spells. But then if I tap a mana, I produce one more mana for whatever that produces. And so people don't expect me to have any combat tricks, but I can pull in something like Blood Rush where you activate the ability of the card in your hand, and then next thing you know, Nikia gets plus three, and double strike, and I just killed someone. It's uh, going off of that. I think of also like Nathan's Neck use our deck, or can you guys think of any other examples where like you have a commander with which people expect to go in one direction, but you have a card that works with it and can kind of change the tides out of nowhere.
I think I have one a little bit. So I have my Xyrus Writhing Storm deck. Uh, he is a Snake Leviathan. Two, a green, blue, and a red. Flying whenever an opponent draws a card, except the first one they draw on each of their draw steps, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. And whenever Xyrus the Writhing Storm deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So typically it's like group hug, you help other people out, draw cards, etc. But I mean, I definitely utilize that, but I've sort of pivoted towards like shapeshifters and token copies. So I want to like get as many snakes as possible and then using cards like I think it's Mystic Reflection. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. Yeah, I just you can do that with like a tireless provisioner or something like that after I swing with my commander and then just get like 6 or 7 of those.
That's
And then,
nasty.
yeah, I just trying to like transform the tokens into something else. I think it's pretty cool. And then it kind of compounds with there if like you steal like a big like synergy piece. Well, at least that's what I'm trying to build it. I each time I play, I sort of want to like build it a different way, and I'm not sure how to
I
like
I think
reconcile that.
I think you just need to build like three of them.
Yeah, I'd find a. I mean, I probably could. I don't know. I might
That would be kind of
switch
cool to say like you're playing that as your commander
three
and have
separate
three different
packages.
versions and like people just
Yeah,
don't know which version you're playing.
yeah,
You become Medusa. They don't know what snakehead you're playing.
That'd be cool.
yeah. I
Uh,
just love the teamer colors. They kind of do everything that I like.
Or you could make four of them and then you could have a whole pod just play the same commander but with like
That'd
different ways of playing it. That'd be
be cool.
sweet.
First one who gets like impact tremors wins.
Yeah.
Uh, oh man. Nathan, do you have a situation like that where you have like the commander and there's a card that people don't really expect?
Um, I think I was trying to pull up my Mox field and it's not
Yeah,
loading. I don't know
Moxfield
what's going on.
has
It
been
keeps saying
really
that
slow for me today.
it's having a hard time.
Do you want
Um,
me? Yeah. Do you want
but
me to give
with
any? Go
my
ahead.
mouthwash deck, which is Yargle and Multani, so gargle and mouthwash. Um, I have a way of like yes, Yargle and Multani is like really big and people can block it, but um, just being able to another archetype is Voltron and being able to build up. Um, I want to see. I think I text somebody what I did with my mouthwash deck before. And I can't remember. But I did something like real crazy with it when we were in Magicon Minneapolis and when we were at the cookout. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was pretty cool. I wish I could go back and like find that text message. Um, but yeah, there's something in that deck. It's still in that deck. And if I had Moxfield, I could look it up. But I haven't played that deck in so long that I can't remember exactly what I do with it. But there's something
Yeah.
Oh,
in there that like
The,
there's
like the go ahead.
I know one. It's Ghoul Color Gisa. So if you sack another creature, that being Yargle and Moltani, it says create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. So taking advantage of like the massive power of Yargle and Moltani.
and just like flinging it at somebody's face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know
Uh,
you've used that on me at least before
oh,
that I
there you
can
go.
recall.
I was about to be like, fine, Nathan, keep your secrets. But yeah, but Keith spoiled them for you, so there we go. And there's one more example I wanted to give of that, and that is like looking at what your commander does and some of the side effects of your commander, and using that to your advantage. Like if your commander has lifelink and you're in red and you're gaining a bunch of life, why not run mana barbs? So like you're gaining life and so you're going to be less affected by it. And then like mana barbs is three in a red for an enchantment. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, mana barbs deals one damage to that player. So you're automatically not as impacted by it, and people can still tap their lands. You're not like forcing them to be tapped out, but uh, you're getting more benefit from the board state than they are. So that's just little things like that to keep in mind. So something that was something Keith mentioned before, like loving the teamer colors. Are there like certain combinations of colors that you find yourself like going back to whenever you're building a deck? Like what lands are you running out of first?
Definitely, like I'm just is that first and foremost, but with the splash of green in there is just perfect. And it also has Simic colors in there as well. I don't know, just they look so great together. I don't know, just everything about Teamer for me.
Yeah, teamer is sweet. I built an Eshki deck that I'm excited to run against you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
think
definitely need to move away from that though and try something else.
Yeah, yeah.
I figured out what I did.
What'd you do?
So I got a turn 4 win with traverse the outlands using Yargle and Mutani to grab 18 basic lands, and then uh yeah. So what I did was um I didn't draw anything but Sir Conrad and then lands. So I took Sir Conrad and cast him and used his ability, pay colorless and black. All players put top card of their library in a graveyard. And he deals 1 damage every time a creature is put there in the graveyard from anywhere. So I did that and about because I had 20 mana off of getting Yargle and Multani turn 4. Then another turn of doing just that, of pinging people with Sir Conrad. Then the third time around, I got Gerard Golgari Lynchlord, who has an ability to pay 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 green, sacrifice a creature. Each opponent loses life to equal to the sacrificed creature's power. So everyone was basically dead from Sir Conrad. Once I got Gerard out and did that ability and sacrificed Yargle and Multani to that ability to do another 18 damage to everybody, the one was secured. So that was a fun little like comboing out using other cards in the deck. And sorry I had to go back, but that was a couple years ago. So I'm glad I was able to find it.
You had to scan the archives, but we got there.
Exactly.
But yeah, so cycling back to colors that you gravitate towards, I feel like I'm using red all the time. I like the ability to move quickly, like do something big and splashy. I love cards like Active Treason and like Goat Effects, and then those tend to revolve around red. So I'm running like uh, Rakdos colors. I'm running Is It. I'm running uh, like Boros, but whenever I look back to it, it's always like red stapled into something. So uh, run through. Uh, yeah, just throwing red on everything. Just love those quick interactions and like the push your luck sort of elements that red brings to the table.
The
So
type of
I'm
guy to put hot sauce on everything.
I'm the same way, but I paint it black. I like to play a lot of black cards where, it's like saying nope with blue, except I'm killing your creatures. Getting rid of creatures and saying nope that way. So that's I gravitate toward black a lot. I would say my least favorite color to play would probably be white. I don't really play a ton of white unless I'm playing like my blink decks or something like that. Um, so that would be my least use, but my most use is probably black.
I do think like white is still kind of the weakest color in Command, or at least like the weakest mono color. They're doing a lot to help with it, but
Yeah.
it is still like in the process of kind of finding its own identity. So there are a lot of cool cards that are white, and then there's a bunch of good staples that are white. It's just I feel like compared to, I mean, if you like even like looking at the Tarkir sets that were just dropped, the Teamer and the Sultai one are way more expensive than the other ones that have white in the identity. So, I mean, it's kind of pretty telling right there.
That's very true.
Uh, That being said, the new Elsbeth Planeswalker absolutely slaps.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. White's been getting some good card draw and ramp though in the past set or two. They're getting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're starting to beef it up and try and even the playing field for all the colors, but I just feel like it was behind for so long that it's going to take a minute to get it up there without kind of like nerfing white and giving it a whole bunch of like ridiculous cards.
Yeah. I find myself playing a lot more blue than I used to. I just find myself enjoying a lot of those cards, not even necessarily countering, but I haven't the value of like bounce spells and returning a permanent to the owner's hand is the no is just a fun interaction. So I enjoy bounce spells. I've been running them in a lot more of my commander decks, and I've been running them on Arena, which is pretty fun. So yeah, just bounce spells, just bounce off from Aether Drift. Why not run it? Boomerangs, send it. Unsummon, why not? By bounce, I mean return a permanent to its owner's hand. So I'd be dribbling people's creatures during the games. It's
Well, and
like,
it's fun because you can do that with your own creatures too. Like if you want to like save some creatures from getting demolished, you can do it to yourself too.
that's an excellent point. Just like the ability to save your own stuff. Like you've cast your commander 3 times, you don't want to have like a freaking 8 CMC like commander tax. Just yeah, in response to that Doomblade, gonna bounce that bad boy back to my hand and play it at the regulated market price of whatever it says on the card.
See, and I like using that way of saving my commander, or if I know that I have a way of getting it out, I'll send my commander to the garbage can any day.
Yeah.
Like there's getting around that commander tax is always a fun like it's a positive thing to be able to do for sure because it gets expensive when you're playing some of your favorite commanders.
Yeah, so Keith, what are your opinions on tax evasion?
Love it.
IRS, get them.
We heard him. Move in. Everybody move in.
I need to utilize bounce a little bit more. I feel like I used to do that back in the day, but now I've kind of gravitated towards more like staple cards, staple counter spells and so on, and protection. Yeah, I could probably innovate a little bit there.
Don't
Yeah.
staple your protection or else you'll be in a rough time.
Yes, just that's how you populate.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Well, on that note, does this episode resolve?
Oh man,
Believe-
I just felt we were cooking, but yeah, no, I think this was
I think it resolves.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll see everybody next week. Thank you so
Later.
much.
Later.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Hexproof from Ward. If you like what you heard, you can continue to listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube. You can also give us a follow on Instagram and Blue Sky. We'll see you next week.